Imagine hitting boil, and your water is ready in the time it normally takes you to scroll through one TikTok, but without the plasticky taste, annoying drips, or guessing the right temperature for your coffee. In this video, 7 cordless electric kettles go head-to-head, from budget basics all the way up to true coffee nerd gear, and a premium smart kettle that basically thinks for you. You'll see how fast they actually boil, how they pour, what they're like to live with day to day, and where each one falls short. So by the end, you'll know exactly which kettle deserves a permanent spot on your counter. Number 7. Amazon Basics 1.10 Liter Electric Kettle. This kettle is the definition of no frills but gets the job done. With a 1.0 liter capacity and a 1500 watt heating element, it boils a full kettle in just a couple of minutes, noticeably faster than a typical stovetop, and even some bulkier electric kettles. In day-to-day use, it's the kind of kettle you grab when you just want hot water fast, for tea, instant coffee, oatmeal, or noodles, without thinking about presets, temperature programs, or apps. The cordless design actually works well. The kettle lifts cleanly off the base, and the integrated cord wrap underneath keeps your counter from looking like a cable jungle. The handle stays reasonably cool, and the spout pours predictably, so you're not fighting drips or weird splashes when you tip it over a mug. Safety is solid too. You get automatic shutoff when the water reaches boiling, and boil dry protection if you accidentally run it with too little water, both handled by a strict-style thermostat system. Where the Amazon Basics kettle starts to show its budget DNA is in the overall feel and size. At 1.1 quarts, it's fine for 1 or 2 people, but if you're making tea for a small group or filling a big French press, you'll find yourself boiling multiple rounds more often than you'd like. The external look and some surfaces feel a bit plasticky compared with the stainless-heavy designs higher up this list, and while it's BPA-free, it doesn't deliver that premium, all-metal, built-to-last a decade impression. Number 6. Sekaer Small Electric Tea Kettle. The Sekaer Tea Kettle, a compact, travel-friendly option that feels like it was designed for people who live out of suitcases or work between home, co-working spaces, and hotel rooms. Its 380 milliliter capacity is closer to a large mug than a full kettle, which sounds tiny on paper, but in practice makes a lot of sense for solo drinkers who want just enough water for one precise drink at a time. Inside, you get a 304 food-grade stainless steel liner with a double-wall construction, which helps keep the outside cooler to the touch and maintains temperature a bit longer after boiling. The build feels more solid than the price tag suggests, and the retractable or wrappable cord is a genuinely useful touch for travel. You can coil it up neatly without fighting a dangling cable in your bag. Safety is well covered with automatic shutoff and boil dry protection, so it powers down either when the water reaches boiling or when the kettle detects there isn't enough liquid inside. Real-world boiling performance is respectable rather than blazing fast. With a 300-watt element and a smaller volume, you're looking at a few minutes to hit a full rolling boil, which is totally fine when you're brewing tea, instant coffee, cocoa, or prepping water for instant oatmeal or soup packets. The double-wall design helps keep the contents warm for a while after heating, which is handy if you get distracted answering an email or taking a call before you pour. Five. DmofwHi Gooseneck Electric Kettle. This 1-liter stainless steel kettle is built around a long, narrow gooseneck spout that gives you much more control over flow rate than a standard stubby spout, especially when you're blooming coffee grounds or slowly circling over a V60 or Chemex. The interior is all 304 stainless steel, while the handle and lid knob are heat-resistant plastic, so no water touches plastic surfaces inside. With around 1,000 watts to 1,360 watts of heating power depending on model, the DmofwHi boils a full liter of water in roughly 4 to 5 minutes, which is fast enough for morning routines, but not as aggressive as some 1,500-watt kettles. In practice, you hit boil, grind your beans, prep your brewer, and by the time you're ready, the water is at temperature. There's automatic shutoff and boil dry protection, so once the water hits boiling, or if the kettle runs empty, it trips off on its own, reassuring if you're the type who walks away mid-brew. The pouring experience is the star here. That curved gooseneck allows for slow, precise streams or a slightly faster pour when you tip it more aggressively, and the ergonomic handle gives a stable grip even when the kettle is full. Compared to a basic Amazon-style kettle, this instantly feels more in control when making pour-overs or delicate teas where over-agitating the leaves can change the flavor. There are trade-offs, and they're mostly about features rather than fundamentals. The DmofwHi is essentially an on-off kettle. No digital display, no specific temperature presets, and no hold temperature mode. Before, COSORI Electric Gooseneck Kettle. The COSORI takes the controlled pouring of the DmofwHi and layers in real temperature intelligence. This 0.8-liter to 0.85-liter kettle focuses on precision. You get multiple preset temperatures tuned for different drinks: white tea, green tea, oolong, coffee, and full boil for black tea or general use. Instead of guessing, you tap a button for the type of drink you're making, and the kettle handles the rest. In use, the COSORI boils quickly, typically 3 to 5 minutes depending on how much water you load, and its hold temp function keeps your selected temperature for up to 60 minutes. That single feature changes your routine. You can heat water once and come back for refills without reboiling or overshooting the ideal brew temperature. The interior is made of food-grade 304 stainless steel, including the lid and spout, so you avoid plastic contact with hot water and get a cleaner taste. The gooseneck pour is refined and smooth, giving you great control for pour-over coffee and delicate teas. The handle and angle feel well-balanced even when full, so long brewing sessions never turn into a wrist workout. Compared to the DmofwHi, this feels like a more modern, slightly more premium package with smarter controls and better integration between kettle and base. If you go for the smart version, there's also app connectivity through VSync, which lets you schedule boiling, customize temperature presets, and tweak your settings directly from your phone. 3. Cuisinart 1.7-liter stainless steel cordless electric kettle. The Cuisinart is the all-rounder workhorse of this list. Less about barista-style pouring, more about handling anything a household throws at it. With a 1.7-liter stainless steel carafe, this kettle comfortably covers everything from multiple mugs of tea to filling a French press or topping off instant noodles for a whole group. The entire carafe is stainless, including the classic V-shaped spout, and there's a removable limescale filter at the spout to help keep mineral buildup out of your cup. The control panel on the base is where the CPK-17 earns its reputation. You get 6 clearly labeled temperature presets: delicate tea, green, white, oolong, French press, and black herbal, plus a simple start-open system so you're not buried in menus. A backlit blue LED highlights whichever function you choose, and the start button glows when it's running, giving you at-a-glance confirmation from across the kitchen. In daily use, the performance feels dialed in. Boiling a full 1.7 liters is still quick thanks to a high wattage element, and the Keep Warm function maintains your selected temperature for about 30 minutes by default. That means you can keep coming back for refills without reheating, which is perfect during long study sessions or when you're hosting and people are grabbing tea at different times. If you don't want it, a single button press turns the Keep Warm off. Ergonomically, everything feels thought through. The handle is comfortable even when the full 1.7 liters makes the kettle heavy, and it lifts and returns to the 360-degree swivel base smoothly from any angle. Number 2. Fellow Stagg EKG Electric Gooseneck Kettle. This kettle has practically become a status symbol in the specialty coffee world, the Fellow Stagg EKG. This is a 0.9-liter gooseneck kettle that feels like a minimalist sculpture on your counter, with a matte finish, clean lines, and a base that looks more like a piece of hi-fi gear than a typical appliance. But it's not just about looks. The performance backs up the hype. The EKG's gooseneck spout is tuned for laser-precise pouring. Flow is smooth and consistent, letting you control everything from a slow bloom pour to a faster main pour without any sputter or dripping, which massively improves the consistency of pour-over brewing. The handle design shifts weight toward your hand, so even when the kettle is full, it feels perfectly balanced over a Chemex, V60, or Kalita. On the base, a simple dial and a clean LED display give you fine-tuned temperature control, typically adjustable by single-degree increments up to around 212 degrees Fahrenheit. You turn the dial to set your target temperature, hit go, and the EKG quietly ramps up, then holds that temperature using its hold mode for extended brewing sessions. In testing, it kept water at a stable boil-level temperature for about an hour with hold enabled, and still impressively warm even a couple of hours after switching off. Heat-up speed and noise levels are both excellent. Full-capacity boils are quick, and the kettle is notably quieter than many competitors. No harsh roaring, just a subdued hum as it nears temperature. 1. Breville B845BRT. The Smart Kettle Luxe. The Breville, also known as the Smart Kettle Luxe, the kettle that does almost everything, and does it with style. This stainless steel, cordless kettle blends the capacity and versatility of something like the Cuisinart with the temperature precision and premium feel you'd expect from high-end gear. It's designed to be the one kettle that works perfectly whether you're sipping green tea, pulling a French press, or just making late-night instant noodles. The standout feature is its 5 varietal temperature settings, pre-programmed for black tea, green tea, white tea, oolong, and French press coffee. Instead of guessing or memorizing numbers, you simply hit the button that matches your drink, and the kettle heats to that ideal range automatically. For those who care about flavor, brewing a delicate green tea at a lower preset versus blasting it with a full boil is a noticeable upgrade in taste and aroma. Breville also adds a very practical keep warm function that holds your chosen temperature for about 20 minutes. This strikes a good middle ground. It keeps water ready for top-ups without running indefinitely, and you can activate it before, during, or after a heating cycle with a single touch. Everyday use feels premium. The stainless steel body, solid handle, and illuminated power switch all contribute to a sense that this is built to last and thoughtfully engineered. One of the most underrated touches is Breville's soft opening lid. Instead of snapping open and blasting you with a jet of steam and splashing water, it rises gently and releases steam in a controlled, safer way. Final thought. That's all for today, folks.